Hey, this is my 2025 K-pop Photocard collection overview. Starting with Twice, I have their very early releases complete, and then quite soon you're gonna notice that most pages are partially to fully empty, but so far they haven't really been a priority because their photocards are quite easy to get. So usually I gravitate to buying cards that I might have a harder time finding later on, which for Twice just is not the case so far. Having said that, I do actually have quite a lot of Twice photocards on the way or in my box with new photocards that I haven't sorted yet. They arrived after I took the videos, so I took the videos some time ago, a couple of weeks ago. I just never got around to editing and doing the voiceover, which also I'm regretting because I feel quite weird doing the voiceover after the fact. But past me didn't think that was going to be an issue, so I have to work with that, unfortunately. But yeah, there's gonna be quite a lot of new photocards added to this collection because I've started trading quite a lot of my extras, which I put off for an unholy amount of time. But I just never got around to it. I was always something up and I never made it a priority. I do hope that at the end of the year I might have like 1 or 2 more eras complete. I don't know exactly if I will continue doing them chronologically or if I will just start doing my favorite eras first, like Yes or Yes or Taste of Love. I really enjoyed Taste of Love. But yeah, so far there's no plans. This is just, again, quite at the bottom of my priority list, but I might try to at least get around to 1 or 2 more eras this year. This is not only for Twice, but for pretty much every group, I only collect Korean album photocards. I do not collect Japanese album releases, and I don't collect photocards from, I don't know, Target only version or something, you know. I'm not from the US and I have no interest in getting those cards. I buy only Korean releases and Korean album photocards. The only exceptions are currently Girls' Generation, for which I collect everything, and Dreamcatcher, for which I am on the fence about what I'm going to collect. But in this video there's also only going to be album photocards from Dreamcatcher, but just so you know. The same goes for albums. They're not in the video, but I only have Korean album versions for most of the groups. And since not too long ago I also decided to only stick to album versions that come with a photo book, so all those QR code versions, I might collect the photocards, most likely I will, but I will not actually buy the album. I'll just get the photocards of someone else or trade for them. But yeah, you know, I think for collecting, especially K-pop photocards, if you do multiple groups or multiple members, it's quite important that you set rules for yourself that you stick to, because otherwise this is getting way too expensive and way too much so quickly. You always see the people when you trade online and, you know, the communities. There's always friends that post, should I buy this photo card? Because it's not what they usually would get. But, you know, there's cute photo cards that don't fulfill all the requirements you set for yourself. So you kind of need to make sure that you stay strong and don't cave, because otherwise this is going to lead to a lot of extra expenses. Yeah, we're already at the third binder for Twice, as you can tell. There's loads of stuff I'm still missing. Like I said, never really made Twice a priority so far. What you've also might have noticed is I do actually collect pre-order benefits for Twice, but only the sets that come with the albums that you get at every single store. And if you don't collect Twice, every Twice release comes with all of them. Well, like, they started really early on. I'm not quite sure right now what the first era was. But basically, for every album version, there's a specific pre-order benefit set, which includes most of the time 10 cards, one of each member, and a group version. So that's all the pages where you see the group version on the back when I turn the page. And you get them from every single store, so they're not like normal pre-order benefits, if you can say it like that, where you only get one maybe per album you buy, but you get the entire set for the version that you're buying. For example, this is a pre-order benefit set, so there's the group on the back. This is another version and another version. I really like those, and I actually enjoy collecting them, even if I don't necessarily pre-order the album, but they're always cheap to get because you get them from every single store. So it's not the same as if you were to get pre-order benefits where you get one member per album and then the most popular member is the most expensive. But everybody gets the entire set, so there's no fights about certain members. It's very easy to get, and I really enjoy them. They're usually really cute. They're probably most of the time one of my favorite sets from an era. But yeah, so I hope that I can slowly but surely expand on this collection and make it look less that, less empty. Also, those scratch cards, if you collect them, do you collect 2 sets and one of them is scratched and one of them is not scratched? Because I kind of don't want to scratch them, but I also kind of want a set that is scratched. So let me know, please, if you do collect them, what you do. Because I really like how they look not scratched. Like the silver, I feel looks kind of nice. But at the same time, obviously, they should be scratched, so it's kind of weird not having them scratched. Let me know if you have the same issue. But yeah, I'm still missing the last release from Twice. I didn't pre-order or buy it yet. I will at some point, but as I said before, not really a priority. Which is kind of nice. I don't feel stressed about collecting Twice at all. Some groups, I do feel stressed, so it's really nice that you have one group, even if they have a bunch of photo cards, but you have one group where you feel quite confident that it's going to be somewhat easy to complete once you decide to actually get around to it. Yeah. I'm sorry, I put all the pages already in there, so there's some pages that are completely empty. I just wanted to, block the space off. I think this is the last era with youth that I have. There's also the solo releases at the back of the binder. You can already see in Nyan's photocards at the back of the binder peeking through. Opposite to what I do with... it's kind of still the same, to be honest. I sort my photocards by era and then by member age, from oldest to youngest. And for solo releases, I also sort them by member age. So Nyan is gonna be first and Chewy is gonna be last. But yeah, I'm quite excited to see who else is going to have solo at some point. I really want to complete this by the end of the year, but I'm not gonna lie, I forget about me missing some of those photocards quite a lot, so we will see how I fare with that. Anyway, going on. Next, IZ*ONE. I loved IZ*ONE. It was one of my favorite groups during the time they were active, and actually one of the few groups I watched all the YouTube content for. I do enjoy some YouTube content every now and then, but for IZ*ONE I actually went and checked all the videos they posted, every single one. Unless you count was it YouTube Shorts? I don't think I watched all of them, but the actual videos, I watched every single one. I have dropped IZ*ONE before, but I was so upset about it that I went back and got all the cards back. Not from the people I sold or traded with, but, I made sure to get all the cards again that I had previously sold or traded, so I'm not going to do that again. I also completed IZ*ONE for Photocards. I'm currently working on the bigger album inclusions. It's also not really a priority, to be honest. It kinda is, so I kinda wanna have IZ*ONE complete. But at the end of the day, the bigger album inclusions are quite easy to find. People don't really put them in binders. Not everyone, but obviously there are people that do, but a lot of people don't collect them. So they are quite cheap, and I feel like they're also quite easy to find. Maybe that's just me, but I'm gonna work on this, and I'll try to maybe have 1 or 2 eras complete for bigger album inclusions. Still working on finding the perfect sleeves though, because for the longest time I only collected photocards. So even though I have a bunch of bigger album inclusions, I don't have any sleeves that work. These are currently okay, but to be honest, they're not my favorite ones. So I will see and improve on that, hopefully. But yeah, if you have any sleeve recommendations, please let me know. I am very happy with the 9 pocket pages I have. I honestly don't remember the name right now. The game Sonic or something. But so far I like them. They're side loading, so they don't collect dust as much as the ones that are top loading do. I was actually trying not to get into IZ*ONE at first, because I had, the disbandment and all that. I already did all that with IOI, and I was not very keen on going through it again. But I don't know. I did the same mistake I did with IOI. I started watching the survival show, and I don't know if you've ever watched one of the K-pop survival shows, but that's basically the absolute worst thing you can do if you're trying not to collect a group. Because so far, the ones I did watch, I wanted to collect, and then I did end up collecting them, so I'm trying not to watch any. Yeah. So if you want a tip on how to not start a new group, don't watch the survival shows. There's so many trainees. There's definitely one you're gonna like, and then you continue watching for that one trainee. And it just goes downhill from there, You're gonna start liking more, and then at least one of them is gonna make it in the group, and then, yeah, it's just a downward spiral. Next, as you can already see, I really need to make covers, is Jaeyeon. I have her earlier solos. I don't think I have any photocards for her last release. I might be imagining something right now, but I'm pretty sure about that. And I have a couple photocards missing for her second to last release. I really liked her during Produce 48, but I really wish that her company would have had a group for her, because I feel like she is made to be in a K-pop group and instead of a soloist. I did like her releases fine, but to be honest, I don't really put them on a lot. I wish I was more often, but I kind of forget about them. Next is Unbi. I loved her debut song so much. I don't even know what the style was. I probably should look that up so I can listen to more songs with that style. But it's probably still my favorite release of hers. I might be alone with that, but I'm okay with that. But yeah, I do enjoy Unbi's solo music quite a lot. I feel like out of all the after IZ*ONE soloist, she's probably the soloist I listen to the most, followed by Yena. But yeah, I really enjoy her music. I liked her a lot in IZ*ONE as well. I just wish there would be a little less photocards for every release, because there are quite a lot. Oh yeah, this is my one here, one page. I'm not sure actually if there's ever gonna be more, because she doesn't seem very keen on releasing music. But I also did not expect to get even those, so we will see what the future holds. Next there's Yena, and because I complained about the amount of photocards there are for Unbi solo releases, I'm gonna have to complain about these as well. Why are there so many photocards for a solo artist? It is actually, every time there's a new release announced, I'm actually very, very carefully checking the page, you know, the emoji that holds their eyes closed and just like glancing between the fingers, because there are so many, which is kind of crazy for a solo artist. It's also quite difficult to find photocards. There was a special version for one of her albums, and I still haven't gotten a single one. I think it was actually Love War. But at this point, I am actually considering not collecting those photocards, just because they're so difficult to find. Which for me is quite uncomfortable, because I like completing a full era of photocards. But I don't see anybody selling them, except on eBay, and I don't buy photocards on eBay because they're way too expensive usually. So I will maybe just keep an eye open. Yeah, I haven't gotten around to her last release yet either. I might focus on that, but I don't think this is going to be a priority for this year. Just because there are so many photocards and I feel like I need a break. But yeah, I really liked her last release though. It wasn't my favorite in the beginning, but it grew on me significantly. Then there's Yuri. I really liked her debut song. Everything after that was never bad. Don't get me wrong, there was never any bad release in my opinion. But it just wasn't memorable for me. I listened to her debut song quite a couple of times after it came out, and everything after I listened to once, you know, when I watched the MV, and I kind of forgot about it. Love although, the photocards are so difficult to find. I honestly don't know what happened. There must have been a lot less people buying the album, because I still can't find them to this day. But yeah, there was this binder. Next is IVE. I love IVE. They're my favorite group, soloists, whatever release basically to come out of IZ*ONE. I'm actually considering collecting Japanese releases for IVE, which I shouldn't do, but I did buy some albums, and now I'm trying really hard not to make that a habit and not to complete the photocard sets. But yeah, I really love IVE a lot. All of their songs are great to me, which is quite... obviously I'm biased, you know, because I like the group. But I usually am not that biased that I make myself like songs that I wouldn't usually like. Betty might have taken 1 or 2 listens for me to get into, but it wasn't forcefully listen to it and telling myself that it's the best song ever. It's probably still not close to my favorite IVE release, but I like it, you know? I just vibe with their music style. I also didn't get around to their last comeback, which is also because IVE was always really easy for me to complete. Ugh, please ignore everything at the back. That's all the photo cards I shouldn't have. So we just pretend that those don't exist while I pretend like I'm not very tempted to collect everything. So just skip that part. But you never know, right? So I just keep them safe there. Next is IOI. I love IOI so much. You don't even know. And the amount of rage I have that I didn't buy the light stick when it came first out and I still wasn't able to find it. I'm literally losing sleep over that one. But then there's Chang'a. Love her as well. One of my favorite members in IOI. I am slightly optimistic that we might be getting more music now again. But you know, I don't want to ruin it for myself, so I'll just say Chungha's solo releases. She's one of my favorite solo artists. Next is Dia. Finding their photo cards is a disgrace. They're so hard to find. No one is selling them. No one is trading them. It honestly, I go months without finding a new photo card. And some of the posts you see, they're really old and people either don't respond to you at all or the cards have already been sold. So I'm actually struggling with this collection, but I want to complete them so bad. I just don't know what to do. I actually bought multiple albums of some of their releases just to try and pull the photo cards I'm missing, which is super wasteful, especially because their albums don't sell if you have an empty album. So I shouldn't do it. I just want to complete the collection though. So I'm hoping that at some point I can find someone who's selling or trading some of the photo cards I'm missing, because I really want to complete them. Next is Gugudan. I love them as well. They would have easily been my first or second choice of post-IOI groups if they would have made more songs than they did. But unfortunately, people did not like them as much as I did. A lot of fans didn't take very kindly to Jellyfish taking them out of IOI promotions either. I just wish that they could have stayed a group for longer and get more releases because they were so talented. They just deserved so much better. This is Semina, a subunit of Guguden. Very good, check them out. And these are Sejong's solo releases. Sejong was my bias in IOI. I just wish, for myself, that she would release more solo music. But she seems to be doing quite fine as an actress, so whatever she's happy with, I feel kinda sad for myself though, because I love her music. Next is Purpleback. I'm not sure if you've heard of them. They were a Nugu group. Oh god, when? Some time ago. They ended, I'm not sure if this is correct, but as far as I remember, basically the CEO just disappeared and the members couldn't get in touch with him. I'm not sure if they ever were able to get back in touch with him, but I think that was kind of just how they ended. Which, yeah, is quite sad, especially for them, but also for me and for other fans. And they were doing actually quite a lot of cool stuff, I feel like. For example, the first album had 500 albums printed, and every single album had a unique photo card that was hand-signed, member and unit versions. I mean, you only got one per album, but I think that is pretty cool. And the album I'm currently showing has every photo card only exists 5 times, I think. But for that, there's like 45 photo cards per member. Moving on to another sad story. Priston. You probably heard of them. If you didn't, They were signed under Pledis, and I think that is all the information you need to figure out that they probably didn't get all the attention and all the promotions and everything they deserved. If you don't know them, I do really recommend to check out their music and their music videos though, because they were a really great group. And then after that, there's the subunit Pristin V. Definitely check that one out as well if you haven't so far. I probably preferred them over Pristin, to be honest. This is Somi. She was also an IOI, and then became a soloist, even though there's not many solos she had. There's not really much of anything she had. I feel quite sad for her, but yeah. Wacky Macky. This is one of the groups currently preventing Guguden from being in my top 2 post-IOI groups, because I love Wacky Macky. They did great songs. If you don't know them, check them out. They are disbanded now, but it's definitely worth it. I still listen to their songs all the time. They just put me in a good mood every single time I put them on, so I listen to them quite regularly. Also, those backs, why do they look like that? Why is there no coherent set? I really like seeing the back of the cards I have, but in cases like this, I just want to put a sleeve on there so I don't have to think about what they were thinking or how no one was paying attention to that. It just seems weird. Yeah, I kind of want to get Polaroids for Wacky Macky. I have a few, but I feel like I want to get one of every member because I really like them. And I am gonna miss them a lot. The end was very clearly visible on the horizon, especially with how they were lacking promotions in the end and didn't do anything. But I just wish they could have continued, because I feel like they should have been really big. And then we have Yeojang's solo. I'm wondering if she's gonna release more music at some point, but so far I don't think there's anything that has been announced or anything that would tease her thinking about it. But you know, fingers crossed I'm wrong and there's something coming soon. Next, there is another post-IOI group and also one of my current top 2, WJSN, also known as Cosmic Girls. Also, they have an amazing discography, same as Wacky Macky. Both of them are constantly on my playlists. I have full weeks where I listen to either just Wacky Macky or just WJSN. Also one of the groups where I was and still am really tempted to collect some non-album photocards, but it's just, you know, I'm trying really hard not to. But I'm only missing one more photocard to complete all Korean album photocards, and I'm kinda sad thinking about completing this collection, because at the moment it doesn't seem like there's a lot more to come, I'm gonna say very carefully. I really want to be proven wrong, but it's quite questionable how many plans their company still has for them, which is Starship Company, by the way, same as IVE, but WJSN does not seem to be anywhere close to their priority list, and I think that's kinda rude. They should definitely be on there. If you've never listened to any of their songs, As You Wish and Save Me, Save You are my top 2 songs of theirs. And their MV for Save Me, Save You, I think is still one of my favorite music videos overall from any group I listen to / collect. It's just, the outfits are so good. I love the MV. That's such a superficial thing to say. But it's true, it looks great and the song is so good, you know, it's just the visuals and the acoustics. Is that the right word? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. They just, you know, they're just so good combined. I feel quite lucky though to have WJSN completed for the most part. Even though I was just talking about thinking about collecting some non-album photocards. But some of the photocards were so difficult to find. Especially the older eras. I've spent way too much time, like way too much time, trying to find photocards I'm still missing. You know, refreshing all the pages. Constantly looking up the hashtags and everything just to try and find the last photocards I'm missing. And I'm still missing one. I haven't seen anyone put up that photocard in forever. It's not even like I'm missing it, you know. It's just no one seems to be selling it. So, still working on that. Until I have that photocard, I will not start buying non-album photocards. But, you know, it's just in the back of my mind, thinking about it. There's also, if you see the mix between pink and orange, there's just no order to this. They just randomly made some pink and some orange. This, see, there's the photocard I'm missing in top in the middle. If someone has this photocard, let me know. This is WJSN the Black. It's a subunit. Also very great, easy, such a good title track. Ugh. And this is my favorite subunit. Shokome. I don't know if you pronounce it like that. Sorry if you don't, but they're so good. They're so much fun. It's like the quirky K-pop concept, you know? The fun one that you cannot show your friends that never listen to K-pop at the first time, you know, you need to ease them in. But they're so good. The amount of times I've listened to Humph or whatever the name is. Oh my god. I think it was probably my most listened to song in the year it came out. I could not stop listening to it. Yeah, that's Sola's solo. It's kind of at the wrong place because there's see, there's still the group photos for WJSN. I kind of need to move them around. And then there's the last survival show I watched, but also Yoram was in there, and Yeon, and Kai, and Nana. I could not collect them. I'm still missing a photocard. Can't find it anywhere. But also, there don't seem to be a lot of people collecting Elsa, so I'm currently still trying to find that one person that did buy the album. This is Dreamcatcher. As I said before, I think, or did I cut it out? I don't even know at this point, I'm sorry. I have multiple non-album photocards for Dreamcatcher. They're currently not in the binder. They are by now. I might take them out. I honestly don't know. Their non-album photocards, if you don't collect Dreamcatcher, their non-album photocards are so expensive and so difficult to find, depending on which card it is, that I'm not sure if I want to collect them, but at the same time, it's Dreamcatcher, you know, I want to collect them. So I'm still trying to find the right balance here. I'm not very good at doing just some sets, so it's kind of difficult for me to decide what to do. I want to complete their Japanese prequel photocards though. I do collect Japanese album photocards for Dreamcatcher. It's the only album I'm currently still missing cards for their older albums. For the newer albums, I'm also missing a few cards, but I have traded for quite a few, and I have found quite a few that I bought later on. As you probably know, Dreamcatcher is... I don't want to say the D word, so I'm gonna say slow down on promotions. I am very excited though for Jiu, Sua and Hyohyun to debut in their subunit. I've already unfortunately signed up for some group orders, as a reserved spot. So I'm gonna get, at least for their first release, most if not all pre-order benefits, which doesn't really speak for my resolve not to do that, but I'm trying. So maybe I should just pre-order benefits and not all the other ones. But yeah, first, when I got to know about Dreamcatcher, I collected literally everything they ever dropped, and if you followed them, the amount of merch and pre-order benefits is just, they went nuts at some point. They just went way overboard. Having said that, the one thing I never collected for Dreamcatcher is US only photocards. I just don't like those. I think it's weird to give country-specific photocards for a release that is not for that country. Well, yeah, I mean, they only ever did one version, so maybe in a couple of years I feel like picking it up, but so far I'm actually not even interested. I also feel it's really interesting though, if you see their album photocards, all the sets are very coherent, usually, and their pre-order benefits, the sets are so random that sometimes you would not be able to identify them as a set if you didn't know that they were supposed to be a set. But yeah, it's just, I don't like sets that don't look like they should be a set. It's not my personal preference, but I feel like that's also only relevant for people like me who collect full groups. If you just get one member, you will never know, so maybe I should think about it. Don't think I've actually mentioned it before, right? But I only collect full groups. I don't collect just one member. I have no issues with people collecting one member, but for me the concept is just a little weird. But I mean, no shade to anyone who does. It's just not what I personally prefer to do. Money-wise though, that's definitely the better option. I wish I could do that. But yeah, I'm kind of stuck here. Then there's Sojin. I actually also have idol photocards. I just don't know exactly where they are right now. This is more of a soloist's binder. So there's Yeon, there's Hyuna. I'm still considering getting the Dawn photocard for that release. Didn't pick it up yet though. It's Tiger Eyes. I didn't get the second album yet. That's from Lovelyz. And then we have the solo from Yua, from Oh My Girl. And then there's Ailee. Her photocard's also difficult to find. And then AOA Jimin. Yeah. I'm sorry, that was too fast. I couldn't say anything to all of them. This is also more of a dump binder for groups I have photocards for, but I didn't really work on yet, so they're not even spaced out like I did with Twice. They're just there for now, if you can say it like that. I will work on them eventually. I just, have some other groups that I prioritize. But this is kind of like a view in the future, window to the future, of what's to come at some point. For some of them, I actually might wait till they disband before I start collecting them. Not that that's ever the plan for a group to disband, but this is more of a waiting till you know how many cards exactly you're missing. Because if you collect a lot of active groups, every time there are comebacks, this is adding to the photocards you're missing that you still have to get. This is Mini Mani, by the way. Also check them out. Basically check out everyone. But yeah, so I kinda get tempted a lot, especially for groups in this binder, because I wanna, work on them and complete them and have full sets. But they stay there for now. and I'm trying my best not to get all the photo cards at once. This is Maiden. This is probably most definitely the only set / era I'm ever going to get from them. I just hope that they can leave their company, or that the CEO is removed, or, you know, we're just hoping for the best here and that they're all safe. Next is Blackpink. Feel like I don't have to worry too much about new comebacks. I mean, even when they were all signed under YG, there was barely anything happening. So now I feel even less worried about that. I mean, maybe there's gonna be a comeback once in a while, but I'm not very worried about being, you know, left with too many comebacks and too many photo cards. I've also collected their solos, but I don't consider what Rose, Jennie and Lisa are doing currently to be K-pop, because K-pop for me is in Korean, so I don't collect their current releases. I have their Korean releases, where at least part of the songs were in Korean, and I will get Jisoo's newest release at some point. I'm just not really a big fan of Jisoo's solo music, so it might take some time. This is Luna Sola, also disbanded. Also like them, they were very cute. I'm not even sure what's next. ITZY. Love ITZY. I'm so glad Leah is back. Leah was my bias, still is my bias in ITZY. They just make music I enjoy as well. I understand why people don't like their current music as much, but for me it still works, so I'm not complaining. It usually does take me a couple of listens to get into it, but it's never... I feel like a lot of people seem to listen to it once and think it's the worst song ever released. I don't actually think they're bad. I just need them to pop up on my, random K-pop songs playlist at some point. And then after a couple of listens, I actually vibe with the song. Except for Sneaker, I think. I just couldn't get into Sneaker. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not my type of music, But I also don't think you need to like every single song a group releases. It doesn't make you a better fan if you like every single song. The group releases music and you either like the music or not. You can still like the members and you can still like the group just fine, even if you don't like every single song they put out. But I feel like some people think if you like a group you need to like every single song they ever released. Dreamcatcher, Airplane, I just can't. It's just not my song. And I do like a lot of different styles of K-pop. It's just... Airplane is just not my song, But that doesn't mean I don't like Dreamcatcher. But anyway, Cheshire, love that album as well. Gold took me also 2-3 listens. And then I started, getting the chorus stuck in my head. It's like Gold part. They do have a lot of photo cards though, and honestly, I am not a big fan of the layout where you have 5 photo cards per side, because it's almost 50% empty. So, yeah, but I don't have any better idea currently of how to do it. So I presume they're gonna stay like that. I also haven't worked on their latest album yet. I basically paused a lot because Girls' Generation did the absolute most of merch, and since I collect everything for them, everything else was put on hold because I needed to save money somewhere. That's why a lot of the most recent releases for a lot of groups are very empty currently. But we're getting there. We're not stressing ourselves because this is just a hobby. I don't need all photo. I mean, I kinda do, but you know what I mean. I don't need them now. I have time. And yeah, this is gold. As you can tell, there's barely anything there. Working on it slowly. Very, very slowly. And that's all my Etsy photo cards. Next up is weekly. I still can't believe that they left their company. I mean, I can't believe that part, the last 2 years were quite empty. But it's just, if you were there when they made their debut, everybody was so excited. They were doing so well. Just right from the beginning, they were super popular. Everyone knew them. Everyone knew their title tracks. And then it just, kind of fizzled out. And then they had Vampara, which was kind of like the final nail in the coffin, because they just changed the concept so drastically from what everyone was excited about and got darker, which probably wouldn't have been as bad for some other groups, but the amount of people that dropped them during that time was crazy. I've seen so many people on social media sell their collection talking about how bad the song was. I don't even think the song was that bad. It's just, don't get me wrong, I also wasn't happy with the song, but it's because I wanted something different from Weekly. That's not the sound I wanted from it. But there was, after that song, they basically just disappeared from my For You page. I didn't see anyone talking about them, which was crazy because it was so different. Apologies, that's one of my cats. But yeah, I hope they can re-sign as a group, or at least as solo artists if they want to, because they are really talented as well. They really deserve to be happy, and if they want to continue with the music, even if their company wasn't doing that well financially. Yeah, I haven't heard anything, but I also didn't check, to be honest, so I'm gonna check after I make this recording and then see if there's anything announced. Red Velvet, yeah, Wendy and Yuri left SM, not the group, but as so on. There's probably not gonna be a lot of comebacks, but I hope it works out for them really well. Yuri was my bias, but I loved all of Red Velvet. I never really prioritized their collection either, but that was because their photo cards they're not very hard to find, and their pricing seemed really stable. Finale was absolutely ridiculous what they were sold for before they did the reprints. I'm not sure what they're going for now. But overall, there wasn't much movement, with older photo cards getting more expensive and newer photo cards are actually quite cheap a lot of the time. I did buy a bunch of Red Velvet photo cards, so they're gonna arrive at some point. and I will work on this collection because I really want to complete Red Velvet. And I kind of hope that I can manage to complete them before they release more music. And they say this hoping that we don't have to wait years for them to release a new album. This is not me hoping that they're only gonna release new music after I complete them, but I hope they're gonna release new music not too far away and that I will be able to catch up until then. I just want to make this very clear, okay? But Cosmic, that song was running for weeks and weeks and weeks. I actually managed to get a friend into it who doesn't even listen to K-pop, but he also couldn't stop listening. Then we have Monster, subunit from Irene and Solgi. Was great. I really need to focus on the Irene solo photocards. I do have the other members solo complete, I think. I'm pretty sure, yeah. No, the other ones are good. I need to focus on Irene first, because I want her photocards to be complete as well. She has really cute merch. I didn't buy any, but it's really cute. Then we have aespa, another SM group. I also am missing photocards for the latest comeback, so I kind of need to focus on that before they release something else. Also a great fan of aespa. I don't know what it is. For some reason SM girl groups just speak to me. It's a personal issue, but I love them all so much. Which is also the reason why I'm currently trying to stay away from Hearts to Hearts, because I feel like it's probably gonna be dangerous for me to listen to too much of their songs, get to know them, because for some reason SM just speak to me, and they're not even a nice company. Kepler! Oh, love Kepler. Yeah, like I said, stay away from all the survival shows. In my defense though, I didn't really have a choice, because Yijin is in there and she is incredible. Please ignore the Mashiro cards, they were wrong, but I bought the wrong ones by accident, and then I should have noticed by the price. Yeah, I know, okay? It was late, I wanted them, and then I got the wrong ones. I love CLC as well. And I love Yujin as well, and I knew she was going to be on Girls Planet 999. You know what just happened? I feel like I need to defend myself. And then Shouting and Dayon. And Yeso, I know Yeso from Busters. It's just... It was just a difficult time. I haven't watched any survival shows since, though. So fingers crossed for me. I really wish that Yeso and Mashiro could have stayed with Kepler. I love them as 9, and also how nice is a 9-member layout for a 9 pocket page. I feel like that's by far the superior option. 3 members, also great. Also kind of why I'm excited for the Dreamcatcher subunit. Wow. I'm not over the name yet, but I'm working on it. Also, I don't understand how people don't like Kepler songs. They're really good. I just don't understand what the problem is. I mean, not everybody has to love them, but I don't think their songs are controversial enough to be actually called bad. But apparently a lot of people think their songs are really bad. I can't understand. I don't want to understand, but I also can't. But yeah, I've been quite diligent with Kepler because I love them so much. I'm currently actually watching all their YouTube videos. I'm a little bit behind, but I am doing the same thing I did for Ice One. I'm gonna be so hurt when they disband, and we know what's going to happen. But yeah, and also kept on going on. I don't know why I have so few photocards. For some reason that era just escaped me, which is weird because the title track was so good. It's one of my most listened to Kepler songs. Back to the City is one of the other ones. I love Back to the City as well. But yeah, and then we skip all of that, which for some reason I didn't get. And see, Tippy Tap, I again have a lot of the photocards. I don't have everything, but I'm just a little confused how our last era with Mashiro and Yeso is one of the ones I have the least photocards for. Girls' Generation. They were my first K-pop group. They are my one true love in K-pop. I don't think I will ever get over it, because it's my first K-pop group. And I also don't want to get over it. If I were to only keep one of my collections, it would, hands down, it's not even a contest, it's going to be Girls' Generation. I collect everything I can get my hands on, which is a lot. As you're going to see, there's a lot of very expensive photocards that they have. There's also rare photocards, and there's just... I don't think I will ever have a complete Girls' Generation collection, but a guy can try. This is one of the subunits, by the way, TTS, and this is a subunit. It's called OGG. Yeah, recommend everything, every single song. Then we have Taeyeon solo photocards. I will probably put the solo releases in a different binder so I can add pre-order benefits as well. I haven't quite decided yet though how I'm going to sort everything, just because of the sheer amount of photocards, and I kinda like having the album photocards together. I'm just currently... it's a little bit messy, as you can see later. Then we have Jessica's solo releases. Wonderland is still my favorite out of all of her releases. The styling, the music video, I just... yeah. My Decade is a very close second though. And then we have Tiffany, and then there's Hyohyun, and there's Yuri, and Yuna, and there's Sohyun. I'm sorry, there's also... just turning one page goes by too quickly. But yeah, I collect everything, as you can tell. And then there's the first non-album photocard binder. This is pretty much everything that came out during Forever One era. I'm still missing some stuff, and this is not going to be how I want it sorted in the end. I just haven't figured out yet how I want to sort it. Also, please excuse all the white notes. It's at a point, because I don't know how I want it sorted, I don't want to have to look up all the time which set is which set. So I'm trying to keep somewhat organized, but they will either have to be redone and really pretty, or I might actually get someone to make them for me and really pretty, because I don't feel like I'm very artistically talented to say so. But yeah, there's a bunch of merch, a bunch of pre-order benefits, and I'm also missing a bunch still, but there's also a lot of them on the way already. These were quite annoying to find, all the Polaroids and these film strip imitates, whatever they're called. But I think I'm good now. It's just difficult because I usually opt to buy Taeyeon and Yuna, if I cannot afford everyone, because they turn out to be the most expensive ones, but the other members are way harder to find. And then, as I told you, it was messy, there's some Taeyeon pre-order benefits. I really have to resort them. I just don't know yet what the most intelligent solution is, because I cannot figure out if I want the pre-order benefits with the eras they belong to, or if I want all album photo cards just directly after another. But yeah, you know, I feel like at some point I'm probably gonna figure it out. Today's just not the day yet. Then we have Girls on Top, which is an SM group with members from all the groups they have basically just thrown together. And I still don't know, because I don't really count them as being Girls' Generation, but I do collect everything where Girls' Generation is part in. So for now, I've only collected Hyohyun and Taeyeon. But technically, it's a group with only members I collect, so I feel like I might need to get the album picks for the other members. But then, as you can see here, I also don't collect SM Town photo cards for the other groups. I just do it for Girls' Generation. So, you know, it's a little messy. And then we have some non-album photo cards that are also not, these are pre-order benefits, but the other ones are not necessarily pre-order benefits, but merch and birthday photo cards and stuff like that. So it's just, I have a lot of photo cards, and it's difficult to figure out how exactly I want to sort them. This is from The Art of Love, which was a concert from Taeyeon. And my Lightstick photo cards. Kinda rude from SM, by the way, that you get one photo card per Lightstick. And I already owned the Lightstick, so now I have 5. I feel like I need to make a shrine and put 2 Lightsticks at the top and 2 at the bottom or something. These are the Christmas photo cards. They're so cute, I feel, every year. I need to get them. And then there's just some other random stuff that I also still don't know where to put. I really need to figure out what to do. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I need to check out more people that collect Girls' Generation so I can figure out what they did to figure out what I want. Because, you know, it's difficult. And then, more Girls' Generation. These are Season's Greetings. I think the entire binder is Season's Greetings. But I honestly can't remember anymore because it is so messy. They're also sorted by year, and I have pre-order benefits if I have any, together with the year from which the Season's Greeting was, as well as the merge items that I own. I think I have a couple of more merge items that I don't have sleeves for yet in the right size. So there is going to be more to come at some point. This is also going to be a lot of pre-order benefits, and if you don't know, I'm not sure if it's the same for Red Velvet and aespa, but for Girls' Generation they basically take the same picture and then make 30 photo cards, or 30 sets with 4 different photo shoots. They pretty much all look the same. It's actually really bad. Like, when I first saw the pre-order benefits, I was like, I'm not collecting that, that is ridiculous. But I don't get enough Girls' Generation content, so, you know, I kinda messed up there, and then I started getting them anyway. And now I have the same photo cards in multiple executions. Yay! I kinda feel like I should stop that, but as of right now, there's so little Girls' Generation content that it doesn't really do anything. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking at the same photo cards over and over again. I also have the season's greetings for their solo releases. Sohyun is at the back, but Jessica's are currently not in here, even though I have them. But she doesn't have anything photocard sized, and I didn't have any binder pages in the right size to put them in my binder currently. So this is definitely one of the goals for this year, is to get a lot of the bigger inclusions settled in the binder. These are start cards. It was trading cards. You basically got a blind pack of cards. You could buy them and then pull different cards and different rarity cards in there. Some of them are really expensive, some of them are signed, some of them include actual cutouts of bandanas they were wearing during the photo shoot. If you want to look it up, they're quite easy to find, but those cards go for quite a lot of money. They're quite hard to find, so I don't have any of the autographed cards so far. I did actually buy one recently. It hasn't arrived yet. Fingers crossed it will. That's also one of the things, you shouldn't collect those, but I really want to. Which is also a reason why I have to put so many other groups on hold, because I spend so much money on Girls' Generation. I cannot allow myself to collect all the other groups at the same time. I do have an apparent amount of these cards on the way though. I pretty much completed all normal cards, all normal sets in one go, because I found someone who had pretty much everything I was missing and was selling them. So this is probably going to be a whole video of me just sorting Girls' Generation star cards, which I am really excited about. You don't even know. But there's 3 seasons, season 1, season 2, and season 2.5. So I'm gonna have a little more fun until I have all of them complete. And that's everything. I hope you had some fun, and see you next time. Good luck collecting!